So you got a fine for parking?
Yes, Alice.
But you were parked in your own driveway?
That's right.
This is the story of Tom Miller and how his quiet suburban life turned into a ridiculous battle with his HOA. Stick around until the end, because the way Tom fought back might save you hundreds of dollars if you ever face HOA drama like this. Tom's troubles started on a regular Wednesday morning. He was heading out for work when he noticed a white envelope tucked under his windshield wiper. At first he thought it was junk mail or maybe a flyer, but when he opened it, his heart sank. It was a fine. A $75 fine from his HOA. The letter claimed that Tom had broken the rules by parking on his driveway. Yes, you heard that right. His own driveway. At first, Tom laughed. It had to be a mistake. How could anyone be fined for parking on property they owned? He shrugged it off, tossed the letter on his kitchen counter, and went to work. But the next morning, another envelope appeared. Same place, same truck, same fine. This time, the amount was doubled. By the end of the week, Tom had received 4 fines, totaling over $400. Now, Tom wasn't the kind of guy to back down easily. He had worked hard to buy his home. He paid his mortgage on time, and he knew for a fact that nowhere in the HOA handbook did it say he couldn't park on his own driveway. Frustrated, Tom called the HOA office. A woman answered the phone, and Tom explained the situation. "I'm being fined for parking in my driveway. That can't be right." But instead of apologizing or checking the rules, the woman told him coldly, "Sir, you'll need to submit a notarized affidavit proving your driveway is your property. Until then, the fines will continue." Tom couldn't believe what he was hearing. Prove his driveway was his property? He bought the house. The driveway came with it. This was insane. And yet, the fines kept coming. 1 week turned into 2. The total amount the HOA claimed he owed ballooned to over $1,200. Tom knew he couldn't ignore this anymore. That's when he started doing his homework. He dug out the HOA rulebook. Page by page, he looked for any line that mentioned driveways. Nothing. Not a single word. Tom decided to document everything. He took photos of his truck parked neatly on his driveway. He kept every single fine in a folder. He even asked his neighbors to sign statements confirming they saw him parked there and that nothing about it was against the rules. Then Tom did something bold. He posted his story in the neighborhood Facebook group. Within minutes, comments started pouring in. Other homeowners shared their own horror stories. One man said he was fined because his grass was 2 inches too tall. Another woman said she got a notice for having a bird feeder in her backyard. And then came the bombshell. 3 different neighbors admitted they had also been fined for parking in their own driveways. This wasn't just Tom's problem. The HOA had been pulling the stunt on multiple people, hoping they'd just pay up quietly. The Facebook post blew up. Dozens of residents were angry. People wanted answers. And the HOA board? They were silent. That's when Tom decided to take things one step further. He met with a local attorney who specialized in HOA disputes. The attorney flipped through Tom's folder of evidence and shook his head. "They can't legally fine you for this. Your driveway is part of your deeded property. As long as you're not blocking sidewalks or breaking city laws, the HOA has no authority here." Armed with that knowledge, Tom put together a rock-solid case. He had photos, witness statements, the deed to his property, and the attorney's letter. He sent it all to the HOA via certified mail, demanding they rescind the fines immediately. 2 weeks later, the HOA finally responded. In a short 2-sentence email, they admitted their error and dropped all charges. Over $1,200 in bogus fines disappeared overnight. But Tom didn't stop there. He went back to the Facebook group and shared the victory with his neighbors. His story inspired others to challenge their own unfair fines. Some even began organizing to vote out the current HOA board. Tom had not only saved himself money, but also exposed how far the HOA was willing to go to push around homeowners who didn't know their rights. So, what's the lesson here? Tom's story teaches us 4 big things about dealing with HOA drama. Document everything. Keep photos, letters, and dates. Read the rules yourself. Don't take their word for it. Don't stay silent. Speak up in your community. Seek legal advice.
Sometimes a lawyer's letter is all it takes to end the nonsense. In the end, Tom went from being fined hundreds of dollars for parking in his own driveway to proving the HOA wrong and inspiring his whole neighborhood. If you found this story helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe for more real HOA and neighborhood drama, and share this with someone who's ever had a ridiculous HOA experience. And remember, unfair rules only win when you let them.